It's a crime, man. Because you steal from the people.
Steal
It's
money.
a crime.
Low Chin also is kind.
Yes, this is a crime.
Criminal.
Bro, I don't know about you. Lah. A scammer is a crime. Being a scammer is still a criminal.
I think it's a job.
Welcome back to the Teh Tarik Hour. Another episode of the two guys from Malaysia talking nonsense,
Talking so high thing.
so stupid things,
Stupid
whatever that comes to the top of our mind. And we're here for another episode to, I don't know, share what's our happenings nowadays. Lah. So,
You haven't introduced yourself to the audience there.
Do
Today
you-
you are Azreen, I'm Keith like that.
I don't know if we actually need to introduce ourselves a lot. But okay. Lah. If you don't know who we are, I don't know why
Put the
name there.
put the
I stopped
photo.
doing that for a long time already, Because I feel like people already know who we are already. If you watch us, then you would know, man.
We are just a no-name people.
Yeah.
I passed by the coffee shop like that. The no-name.
Oh, no. Hey, first thing first, is Azreen, this is Ah Kit. The two Sohais of Teh Tarik Hour, and we talk about nonsense. Continue your adventure at the...
Not say adventures. I think it's a weekend. I went to this coffee shop. I just heard about the conversation between the auntie and the uncle it mentions. So long already. The IMDb funds still never get from this government. How come
We-
like this?
Haven't gotten all of it yet, is it?
Hmm?
You haven't gotten all of it yet, is it? I figured we already gotten most of it, I think.
No, the auntie and the uncle the conversations. Then you say, just reason they want to bring back Jho Low, come back to Malaysia and then bring the...
Bring back Jho Low.
Yeah, they bring back Jho Low.
Our boy Jho Low. Low Tech Joe.
Oh, Jho Low, it's not Jho Low. Jho Low is Jennifer.
Jennifer Lopez, okay. Jho Low, okay.
Jho Low, Jho Low.
Put respect on my man's name, okay.
Jho Low also not bad. What? Bring Jho Low.
But I think like the media also dubbed him J Lo also.
Really,
Yeah. Sometimes they call him J Lo, Malaysian J Lo.
Malaysian Jho Low.
I don't know. I don't understand how that can be the comparison, but that is the comparison lah. He's our Malaysian J Lo lah. So what? They
The Mr. Lau I say. Mr. Lau.
Mr. Low
Mr. Low Low
Very low one.
Low.
It's the low one that
Mr.
guy.
Low, Jho Low.
Not the low that guy.
So, is it possible now, if let's say we bring back him, the auntie and uncle, wow, so exciting,
Really? People really excited to bring back Jho Low.
Hey, money, the fun, how
Dude,
many
okay.
money he...
Do you think he still has the money at this point? Like, do you think Jho Low still have money? I don't know. I personally, I don't know how much money he has left already at this point.
The properties in US,
I thought those
The
are
New
seized
York.
already. Already seized by the government.
but see by government, they still haven't, the comeback, the fund haven't come back to, the Malaysia government side, ma.
My opinion is that majority of the funds and the thing is already recouped. Not all of it. They're still chasing a lot of things, but it's to the fact that we still haven't prosecuted Jho Low yet. Because he hasn't gone to trial, okay? So he hasn't gone to trial yet, so we don't know what is his punishment yet. Like Najib, we already caught him, he's already punished, and he needs to pay 42 million for one of the MDB SRC funds. The one is already found guilty, so he needs to pay 42 million for that.
I think is it possible to bring him back? I think the Chinese government will be collaboration with our Malaysian government.
Okay, one thing first we need to establish, is Jho Low really in China?
Oh.
We all assume he's in China, right? But is there actual evidence that he is in China right now? So far, I can tell it's based on some like podcaster, the guy, the journalist who followed 1MDB. He keeps saying that right now Jho Low is in China.
Maybe he's already after the surgery. How we
Change
know?
his face already.
Change his face.
Okay, you imagine how guilty you look, man, if you have to go to that extent to surgery to hide yourself.
I still enjoy how many $billion in my bank just to do a surgery. It's a small peanuts for
Okay,
me. What?
That's the thing. How is he still managed to have all these funds, man? How he can have access or
Maybe his wife. His wife also called Jennifer or something.
he has a wife?
Yes, he got wife or some more. He's a US citizens.
When did he marry? After 1MDB or before 1MDB?
I'm not sure.
Because if before 1MDB, is a very understanding wife because this man party with Paris Hilton, party with the supermodel Miranda Kerr, I think, give the expensive gift all is paid by Malaysian money lah.
Our money. Our money.
All our money go pay for Jho Low in order to be friendly with some of the famous people there. But yeah, I mean, how is he getting his money at this point?
It's the law.
I mean, probably there's a way lah. Like there's probably a way.
Maybe it's in Bitcoin or some others underground money.
Maybe lah. Most likely it's like that lah. But okay, if we're talking like the logistic of bringing him back, I think the biggest obstacle is let's say let's assume that he is in China right now.
Mm-mm.
The problem is whether or not China is willing to extradite Jho Low to Malaysia lah. The thing is, right, as far as I can tell, right, Chinese are not willing to extradite their own people. Like if you're from China and you are wanted by the US, if you are back in China, they will never push you away one.
This is very depending also.
I mean, I guess it depends on the severity of your crime
It
also lah.
depends on the Malaysia, how much Malaysia government is willing to pay this money to China to bring back.
Okay, is it like we need to pay China, or is it more like, what's
the benefit between
right?
these two countries if let's say they bring back this because these are very special peoples, it's not the he's not the criminal, he is the Low Chin, is a scammer. It's a big scammer, they scam the
But it's still a crime, right? It's a crime, man. Because you steal from the people.
It's still money.
It's a crime.
Low Chin also is kind.
Yes, it's a crime.
Criminal.
Bro, I don't know about you lah. A scammer is a crime. Being a scammer is still a criminal.
I think it's a job.
Only in Malaysia we call scammer is like a job already. I mean, it's true. We have a lot of scams. To be honest, remember like MLM days, all this day. All the wealth making wealth power, all this thing. But I mean, in terms from China's perspective, right?
Mm-mm.
If I'm just being I don't know, optimistic person, the reason why you would send Jho Low back to Malaysia is because it's the right thing to do, isn't it? It's not your conscience to do it, man. It's the right thing to do, lah. Right?
If let's say we send back to this Mr. Law come back to Malaysia, if the value, the value between, maybe we can close with the Chinese government and Malaysia government. We are get closer, good. The business partnership or whatever. But the country.
That's if China wants to establish a good relationship with Malaysia, lah.
Yes, maybe.
The thing is, like, we would benefit. Would both country benefits from that relationship, you think?
The benefit have to find out the fund, where the fund go, and then bring back the money to Malaysia. Come back to our Malaysia pocket. This is the more important thing.
I feel like if it's for China, right, the only reason they would benefit with having Malaysia with a good relationship is to really strengthen the economic power. Because, right, China is part of BRICS. Do you know what BRICS is?
Mm-mm.
The countries are.
Mm-mm.
So if the idea with China and BRICS is that they want to strengthen their own currency and depend less on the dollar.
Mm-mm.
So that's why you want to establish all these ties with different countries so that we can tell this country, okay, hey Malaysia, we are China. We want to do business with you.
Mm-mm.
But we don't want to use the dollar. We want to use your currency and my currency. So that way we become stronger.
Yes.
And then if anything happened to the US, let's say maybe, I don't know, the country become a fire or something like, or the economy goes down, we won't be affected because our currency is stable
Yes.
because we have each other.
It's not like right now, even you in China, you send some money, come back to Malaysia, you have to go to the dollar and then come back to
And
ringgit.
that's giving the US more power.
Yeah, you give the currency. Actually, we are not dealing with US, but
Yes.
because commonly we are using the US
Well, I
dollar
mean,
as a
it's
trading
It's the
dollar.
monopolization of the US currency because they were the biggest imperial power at the time.
Yes, yes.
But now China and all these BRICS country are trying to establish themselves as a dependent, less dependent on the US dollar.
Yes.
So for China, the benefit is very clear in terms of economic sense to build better relationship with Malaysia in providing Jho Low as a sacrifice, basically. But the thing is, right, the conspiracy theory, okay, is that Jho Low apparently had dealings with China that's very bad for China to have, because like if the US were ever to find out about the dealings, maybe they can use it against China. So that's why they don't want Jho Low to come out yet, because as you know, the 1MDB funds is also being investigated by the US government as well. So I think China doesn't want to have to lose that part of the dealing there. But again, it's about balance, like whether or not China wants to improve relationship with Malaysia and maybe get attacked by US, or they just want to keep Jho Low first in case something happens, then they can use that. So it's like a secret weapon. They want to keep it as a secret weapon kind of thing. That's assuming that, Jho Low is in China. But I feel like that's, personally for me, right, it will be more benefit for China to give up Jho Low in the long run. Because again, you want to remain a good relationship with Malaysia. As you know, recently Malaysia, Anwar went to China and secured like investments from China already. So that's like a step towards building relationship there. So if you want to further strengthen that relationship, giving Jho Low is like a big fish there. Literally, he literally is a big fish.
Jho Low is not a big fish. It's just one token for anything from China. It's not very big. I mean, not a very big.
For
deal.
China, it's not a big fish, but for us, it's a big fish.
Yes, it's just one of the tokens to make this
to
token
leverage.
to be
It's a
the
leverage.
values. Yes.
But the thing is, how long would it be benefit for China to keep holding him, assuming that he is in China? Like, how long can you hold off from Jho Low? Because I don't think Jho Low has infinite money. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
At some point, he needs to come back to Malaysia, I feel.
Make him back.
But I do feel like the reason why he hasn't come back to Malaysia is because previous government was not very, very strong on wanting to bring him back. Certain people was like, let's hold on from finding Jho Low first.
Maybe Mr. Low also pay the money for the people.
We don't know.
How we know?
We don't know, because as I found out, apparently Jho Low did make attempts to like negotiate with MACC in order to come back to Malaysia.
Yeah.
Of course, it was smart for MACC to reject negotiating there. Should it be because like you how can you negotiate with a criminal like that? This man stole billions, okay? So it's like, I don't think you should give him any chance. But I mean, Jho Low is just would you consider him a big part of the puzzle or a small part of the puzzle in like?
Consider wheel, but it's not the big wheel. The big wheel is who you know.
Najib
No.
Rosma.
No. Your favorite enemy.
My man, Dr. M. That guy.
That one is a big, huge whale.
How is this whale still alive? Okay, let's switch topic for a bit. Jho Low, I hope he come back and go to jail and do all this thing. But the other whale I want to see is Mahathir. How is this guy still? You know recently.
Do you think he can go to jail?
No, if I'm being honest, this man will never,
You said
never.
you know what our PM say? He said want to put him even is a 90 years old guy. also can go in jail if let's say he is a criminal.
Hey, it might happen because right now there's a Dr. Mahathir want to sue Anwar 150 million for libel because Anwar said like certain people abuse the government.
Yes, he's mentioned only certain people, but the not 19 years old guy, it's me. It's me.
He very prasan, right?
Hey, in Malaysia, I think not many 19 years old guy one and two only. Maybe not many, only two. Maybe he and his wife, two people.
But okay, there's the case going that apparently Mahathir wants to go to court with Anwar about this thing, and then Mahathir already filed a suit and then Anwar's lawyer said, okay, we will respond in measure soon. So there might be a court case going on between Anwar and Mahathir, where I guess the role is kind of no, it's not reversed lah. It's same like last time, like Mahathir blamed your Anwar for the sodomy case,
Wow.
Hey, it's the same technique, bro. Same technique. See, whenever he feel like he's being attacked, he will just sue people and go to court.
No lah.
Mahathir is like this.
The old fox,
Still though.
Still use the same technique.
Still he managed to survive this long. I don't know how long he can survive lah, but he already building up his Avengers, The Malay Proclamation. Recently he meet up with
what he want. He fucking, damn rich, man. And then the families, you can see family trees. You can see the his sons, how many billion his sons made.
He will say, no, I'm not rich. As he says while driving a Porsche.
Some more, all these people, you overseas, you just not stay in Malaysia, you can eat maybe until your cucu,
your great-great-grandson also can survive also lah.
Yeah.
They don't need to work a day in their life.
Still,
but I think Mahathir is at the point where he's more like he wants to really preserve his dynasty already, You heard Kang dynasty, we have M dynasty already,
The suffer is who? Suffer is us,
But a lot of people still for it because he still use the race card. He still managed to play to the Malay sentiment of saying like, oh, you are a Malay, your life is in danger if all these non-Malays come in the way. That focus on unity and really bringing people together. Because the most important is the Malay needs to go first there.
Seriously, if Malaysia without these M people, I think Malaysia is better a lot.
Hey, don't say that lah. M people is still okay one. Malay people is still okay.
No, not M people, it's M.
Oh.
M no, without M, these people
that one I don't know, man. It's like
I think 19th or 18th he bombed the one of the plane from Sabah. It came to Malaysia the time. I don't know what happens for the plane have accidents. You remember the case?
This one, hey, we don't know what's the case, bro. This could be anything.
Actually, Sabah, Sarawak, that side they want to make is the joint federal Malaysia federal is make the independent. After that, they went to come up there because they're very different from us,
Yes, very different. And until this day, they are considered outsiders still, with not many given towards them.
Before independence, Sabah and Sarawak is the richest state.
Rich in resources
in Malaysia.
But what happened after that?
Now it's the poorest state.
Why? What happened? Your man Mahathir and his privatization. He always say, right, during his time, it's like Malay is the most prosperous, most richest and everything. But the thing is, right, and he also said, even like non-Malays were very prosperous at the time. But the thing is, right, the people that really benefit from Mahathir's time is the people who kowtow to him or all his crony and follow him. You look at the country also, right? Not just Malay who are very poor and very, underprivileged and not getting enough anything. Chinese and Indian, Malay, all these other people also are suffering as well.
No, come on, bro. It's not the priority for Malay or priority for which races lah. Only priority for his own pocket.
His own people.
His own pocket and own people.
The most top is him lah.
You see, if let's say really lah, you say Malay is so poor, is so whatever. I went to some places. You see in some clan or somewhere, the Malay is still very poor. They are also depend on the zakat to buy the medicine who are to go for surviving. Are you helping this group of people who are Malay in poor? I think the population, yes, Malay population, the poor, the Malay people is still in poor. But the rich Malay group of people, they're getting more richer.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, there is no social benefits that protect all this, like, underprivileged people and lower class, lower income people. This hardcore poor, all our, the regime of Mahathir, all the policies were to benefit a select few only. That's why you can see, like Robert Koch, all this thing, they can manage to become so powerful.
You can see the election, the Robert Koch, the first people will come back to Malaysia. How? The racist, quite so racist. Why I'm not so racist? Because Robert Koch, what the Robert Koch? Got money, with richest man.
Also, he know how to deal with your Mahathir there.
Yeah.
But you think all people is like that, man? You can still see poor Chinese here. What about them? Or the poor Indians here? What about them? You don't even say, just look at East Malaysia as a whole. What about them? You think your Mahathir care?
Slam already on Malaysia.
All gone already. But that's why, I mean, I see Mahathir still wants to have that power. That's why he's building back his Avenger team of the the Malay Proclamation, trying to put fear on the Malays.
Trying to, it's a jowl with the...
He joined back with the Bersatu and PAS, all this, like, say, like, oh, it's time to bring this together. But here's the thing, right? I think people see is that, oh, it's a very scary thing. Mahathir is coming back with the power and everything. But to me, it's the opposite. You know why? Because, like, it shows that Mahathir really has no power, that he has to rely on people like Hadi Awang and PAS and Bersatu in order to have enough power to go against Anwar. I think he's already very on the last point of his life, and he's trying to do everything he can.
Yes. You mean that you play the chess? It's the last...
This is the last move already.
Last move.
Or you play Final Fantasy, the boss is like the final ultimate power already. He doing all he can in order to maintain life already. But how effective is it? It's hard for me to say because like
thinking is not. Do you think effective?
The thing is, right, I underestimated how powerful PN was, because during the GE15, like PAS was the single party that had the most votes. PAS, like all the states that they won, they had the most votes compared to any other party. So it shows that a lot of people have reverted to PAS for as the political party that they believe in. So recently, there's more cases of like people saying, oh, there might be a green wave coming. That means like a lot of the states election coming up, parties like PAS and BN and PAS and Bersatu will win all these states. So there is a fear in me that the Malay conservative might go towards Mahathir. Since Mahathir has joined Hadi and all this, more Malays will be like, oh, Mahathir is there, so we can trust he will do for the Malay power there. I don't know. Is that effective lah? I don't know if it will work lah.
Yeah. Nowadays, the Malay, you don't think Malays is like
easy to control like last time?
Not say easy control. The people first time. I think the Malay or Chinese or the Rakyat or the Malaysians still believe what Dr. Mahathir is saying. I mean the very first
Malay prosperity, is it?
The first thing the first is this 90 years old man and with the young and the advertisements with the young girls in the advertisement. I don't remember I so kesihan, There's sometimes so kesihan, this old man, they want to bring back Malaysia to the right track or do good things to the Malaysia. But after that you feel like not really he not this kind of people He want to gain back the power, regain back the power to I don't know what the ego wants. The ego.
I mean, he has to rely on extreme politics at this point.
Maybe they want to gain back. Maybe I want to take back, regain the power to my next generation for his.
But like in honesty, like a lot of Malaysians probably are not very supportive of Mahathir at this point, right?
Nowadays, I think it's a very
I mean,
disappointing already.
Look at general election 15 lah. His Langkawi state
Langkawi.
lost so much already, man. He barely had any votes. he lost so much, man. It was
His
surprising.
directory, so many years already, so lost.
So I mean, when we look at that, right, and this history of what have happened, maybe Mahathir's power is not as powerful as he thinks he is, lah. So maybe this Malay Proclamation is nothing more than just hot wind for him to just get attention, lor. I hope that's the case, because I don't think we can afford another another regime of Mahathir. Look what happened the last time. My man really just like literally quit on the job because he just doesn't want to give his power to Anwar, which caused us to have like 3 years of like political disarray. Don't know lah. Political instability is still there in Malaysia. Until the Sultan of Johor needs to say, okay, enough playing this thing. Can we just get the job done first? The Sultan needs to come out say like this.
The other thing is, I'm a bit worried. If let's say Sabah and Sarawak, they get independence. Do you think Sabah Sarawak will get independence?
Under Anwar, no. Because Anwar is smart enough to include East Malaysia. The DPM Johari is a representative of East Malaysia lah. However, East Malaysia is still not given all the things that they owe lah. Like you still don't see a lot of investments to East Malaysia, and a lot of resources are still being taken from them.
Because for East Malaysians, really truly Malaysians, for my personal views, I went to Sabah. You can see a lot of Malay, no matter it's Malay, they can sitting in the Chinese restaurant to take a food.
The unity there,
the unity is there, but. So like our Malaysia here, West Malaysia here is the old time, like our grandparents' old time, that kind of time. They're sitting and still chat, and the auntie uncle, no matter if you are Chinese or Malay, that we are still
very togetherness.
Very togetherness.
The thing is, right, in West Malaysia, there's too much of a conservative extremist ideas. Like again, people like PAS, Hadi Awang and Mahathir keep promoting the idea that anyone who's not Malay is considered a pendatang because they haven't adopted to Malay culture and all this thing. So it's like, it's these people that still put the divide there. Lor. And hopefully they don't have enough power to maintain, but PAS still has quite a lot of power in states like Kelantan, Terengganu, all these more conservative states that still support this kind of views. It's not easy to actually have like East Malaysia mentality. So is it better for East Malaysia to be independent? If I'm being honest, yes, I would like for East Malaysia to be independent because I don't want them to be bogged down by or taken down by the extreme conservative views of West Malaysia lah. But economically and like logistically speaking, if we West Malaysia lose East Malaysia, our resources, our GDP, all this, gone, bro. Yeah. Where do you think our oil come from? Okay, that's where East Malaysia come in, man. If we lost them, die West Malaysia. That's why we still need to hold on to East Malaysia. But rather than like hold them hostage, why not we build them together? Like really balance it out. Because right now a lot of West Malaysia look down on East Malaysia. Because they don't consider them as really Malaysians apparently. Even though a lot of like the original people like Aborigines, like the Sabahan people, Sarawakian, the Kadazan tribe, all these things, the original Malaysians, that's where they come from. So I mean, like more respect should be given to East Malaysia lah, rather than just saying that they need to be independent lah. Like look at them equally lah.
Yeah, equally lah.
Will that ever happen? I don't know, man. It's not easy to say lah. One thing for sure, I don't want Mahathir back in power. If Mahathir comes back to power, I tell you, it's a downfall for us all.
I still believe in Anwar, our PM.
I mean, he's doing okay lah.
They're doing a good job also,
So far, he's doing okay lah.
Good job.
The thing is, the problem is like there's too many people want to topple him. Like the opposition, all this. I said that the Malay Proclamation of Mahathir and joining with Bersatu and all this. It's like they still die. They want to challenge Anwar one. Just cannot let Anwar do his thing for 4 years and then on the next general election you fight again lah.
Please make our ringgit stronger lah.
Hey, at least right now it's stable compared to. And if China investment on us maintain, that would strengthen our
Ringgit
position.
currency.
Because right now against the US dollar, the greenback, the US dollar is dropping, and we are more stable. So we have more power there.
Just recent bank and they increase the interest.
But that's the thing lah. You also there's good, there's bad lah. The interest rate. I think it's more towards like. I believe that's the reason they did that is to entice more investor to come in lor. And reduce spending on our side. Inflation is always to reduce consumption lah. But I don't think that should be the case lah. Instead, we should just tax the rich more lah. Tax the rich! Tax the billionaire, all this. What do they need all the extra money for anyway?
Yeah,
tax Mahathir lah!
give us the poor people like us.
I mean, not directly lah. Like invest back into the country, like social benefits, like
social benefits.
or at least infrastructure. Fix our goddamn public transportation lah.
your MRT is it?
Until now, still Mantai already still got problem lah.
You blame again the Dr. M lah.
That guy
he make our public transport. Last time we got minibus and all that. It's quite convenient, you know.
Bro, he went on the public
You
transportation.
still remember the minibus?
Yeah, of course lah. I mean, like we last time at least had decent public transportation, but after your Mahathir privatization and everything, and focus on having people
one man, one
car,
proton.
one man, one car dream.
One man, one proton, not car, you know.
Now it's just like you cannot live without a car here. It's very hard to live without a car. La.
Come on now, Proton is no longer with Mahathir.
He upset about them because your Najib sell off to China.
You want to make a third
national car.
Third national car?
Give up lah, oh man. Okay, this is more becoming like attacking Mahathir. Okay, I think that's we should stop lah. Rather than we just become a attack Mahathir. we talk too much about Mahathir already lah. I don't want to be just a political podcast already. Okay lah. We'll end the episode on this one. We'll make it a short one just so that people don't.
Do you want to say some good thing about Mahathir? Besides of this, he's do a lot of bad thing, but it still is since 1981 he make a KLCC, make us famous and make Malaysia famous, bring up the Kuala Lumpur. And you want to make something good words to Mahathir? What's the good words to him? If let's say he see this podcast.
I'm glad that he will probably retire soon. That's the only thing I will say nice about him. Okay, thank you Mahathir for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of us making fun of you. Until next time, I've been Azreen, this is Ah Kit. So you know who we are if you want to sue us. Huh?
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.